Night cloaks the ocean, a cold April wind sweeping over the trembling waves. The air is thick with anticipation, the kind that settles into the bones of those gathered on the decks of the grandest ship ever built. The Titanic. It is April 14th, 1912, and beneath the velvet canopy of stars, the ship glides forward, proud and majestic, bows slicing through the waves with a promise of safety and luxury. Laughter and music spill from the gilded halls, the hum of conversation drifting up into the night as the unsinkable vessel presses onward. Yet, beneath the grandeur, there is a hush, a silence that feels almost unnatural, as if the sea itself is holding its breath. Suddenly, the calm is shattered. A faint glow on the horizon, the chilling outline of an iceberg looming in cold rain. The Titanic's hull groans, metal shrieking as it meets ice. In a moment, everything changes. Panic ripples through the corridors. Footsteps pound in frantic rhythm. The moaning wind and the slap of water against the hull become a cacophony. The ship, once so vibrant, falls silent, swallowed by the freezing darkness. Yet, even as Titanic vanishes beneath the waves, whispers echo from the depths, whispers of eyes that never closed, whispers of ghosts who never left the ship. The years pass, but the silence remains. The world above moves on. Stories fade into legend, but the sea remembers. In 1986, explorer Robert Ballard descends into the abyss, his expedition piercing the darkness that has shrouded Titanic for decades. The wreckage emerges from the gloom, rusted hull, illuminated by the faint glow of submersible lights. Staircases flood with shadows and silt, engine rooms silent, but for the steady drip of water. Ballard's team wanders through the devastated remains, struck by the quiet markers of lives abruptly ended. Loose shoes float among the debris, scattered across the ocean floor, silent witnesses to footsteps long gone. Hats, spectacles, personal relics drift eerily in the water, each piece a monument to memory. Yet, it is not just the artifacts that chill the explorers. Stories begin to emerge from the depths, whispered among divers and researchers who dare to traverse the haunted corridors. Some claim to hear music, soft, ethereal, a band playing somewhere in the unseen. Violin strings hum through the silt, a piano echoes against rotten metal, drifting between the flooded rooms. The melodies are faint, barely perceptible, yet unmistakable, haunting in their persistence. Others report flickering figures glimpsed in the cabins, shadows dressed in early 1900s attire. These apparitions appear only in brief flashes, reflected by the faint light that filters through broken portholes. One diver swears he saw a woman in a long gown, her face serene, as she drifted past a shattered mirror. Another recalls the outline of a child, seated in a corner, his eyes locked onto the swirling gloom beyond. The shipwreck itself seems to breathe, alive with memories and sorrow. Underwater teams navigate staircases twisted by time, their beams illuminating relics that have not seen daylight in over 70 years. Old shoes rest beside rusted railings, hats tangled among collapsed beams. A diary, its pages dissolved, floats gently in the current. In the grand dining hall, tables lie tipped, chairs drift in slow circles, their once elegant frames warped by pressure. Occasionally, a diver will find a musical instrument, a violin case wedged beneath a banister, a piano submerged in the gloom, keys stained by salt and decay. It is in these places, where the living once gathered in celebration, that the sense of presence is strongest. The air feels thick, charged with something unseen. One night, technology bridges the gap between worlds. A team streams live footage from the Titanic's remains, their cameras shaking as they traverse the ruined dining hall. The room is a shadow of its former self. Floors warped, tables upended, chairs floating in silent suspension. Suddenly, behind a tattered curtain, a gaunt figure materializes. Black and white uniform clings to its frame, but no legs can be seen. Only a silhouette hovering, impossible. Through the lens, the team watches as the figure's eyes shine, a piercing glow that cuts through the darkness. It is not the gaze of the living, but something older, deeper. The divers freeze, their lights casting trembling beams across the warped floor. Water drips steadily from the ceiling, pooling around the ruined tables. The metal groans, shivering with the weight of memory. The figure behind the curtain begins to warp, face twisting, features darkening as if charred by unseen embers. The camera shakes, the team's breath audible in the silence, and then, without warning, the device slips from their grip, plunging into the depths. The image vanishes, swallowed by the silence of the deep. All that remains is the echo of those eyes, haunting the minds of those who bore witness. The footage spreads, and with it, the haunting intensifies. People near Titanic memorials and museums begin to report strange phenomena. In the quiet hours of the night, footsteps echo through empty hallways. Phantom orchestras play melodies from another time. Furniture creaks beneath invisible weight. Lights flicker with no source. Cold air seeps from below, carrying the scent of salt and charred wood. Museum guests stand transfixed before display cases, feeling as if someone watches from the shadows. Some claim to see reflections of figures in the glass, their forms fading when approached. Others describe the unmistakable sound of a violin drifting through the halls, the notes lingering long after the music should have ended. The phenomena are not confined to one location. At Titanic memorials scattered across the world, visitors speak in hushed tones of their experiences. Hallways lined with broken boards groan under unseen steps. Wind whistles through cracks in the walls, carrying with it the distant strains of orchestral music. Display cases housing old instruments seem to vibrate subtly, as if the ghosts of musicians press their fingers to the strings. The air grows colder, heavy with the weight of the past. It is on the night of April 15th, the anniversary of the disaster, that the haunting reaches its climax. As waves and freezing air grip the Titanic, those who listen closely claim to hear anguished cries from the submerged cabins. The strings of a violin snap in the gloom, a cry held back by the weight of despair. In the wreckage, a cabin window bursts open. The moonlight floods in. Rain lashes through the walls. The wind roars through the broken panes. The final lamp flickers, sputters, and dies, casting the corridors into utter darkness. On the deck, shrouded in rain, a figure stands alone at the railing. Head bowed, coat torn and battered by salt and storm. The silhouette is motionless, waiting. The diver's light scans the ruined surface, searching for signs of life, and a pale hand materializes, resting gently on the rail. For an instant, the hand glows in the mist, almost translucent, before dissolving into the cold air. The curtains blow wild in the storm. Light flickers and fades, and the figure vanishes, leaving only the memory of its presence. The ship is silent once more, but the echoes remain. The haunting is not simply a matter of apparitions or unexplained noises. It is a tapestry woven from sorrow, hope, and the relentless grip of memory. The Titanic, though long gone, is never truly abandoned. Its ghosts linger, not as flesh and bone, but as fragments of lives interrupted, dreams unfinished, stories left untold. If you ever find yourself alone by the ocean at night and you hear music drifting from the depths, do not ignore it. If a shadow crosses your window or you glimpse a shape moving where none should be, do not film, do not speak its name. Something lingers in these places. Not a person, not a monster, but a memory, a warning from the past, echoing through the silence. Let this story be a reminder. The Titanic's tale is not just one of tragedy, but of enduring presence. The ship and its passengers are gone, yet their spirits endure, woven into the fabric of the sea itself. Their voices call out for vengeance, but for remembrance. Each echo is a plea. Do not forget, do not pass by in indifference. If this tale has chilled your bones, if you feel the shivers of history pressing against your skin, stay with us. There are stories yet to be told, mysteries lurking in the darkness that surrounds us. Subscribe to Don't Watch Alone and share this story so no one faces the night alone. Hit that bell so you hear the echo before the signal dies. Let the memory live so the silence never becomes absolute. The ocean is vast, its secrets deep. The Titanic remains a monument to human ambition and fragility, a vessel whose ghosts refuse to rest. The next time the wind moans over the water, or you see lights flicker in the gloom, remember the whispers from the depths. Remember those eyes that never closed. Remember the ghosts that never left the ship. And above all, do not watch alone.